The program exists to do three things: to act as a convener among all of the 911 stakeholders, to collect and create resources for the folks at the state and local level that actually operate the 911 system. And we also administer a grant program specifically for 911. So we're about to award over $100 million in grants to the states to upgrade their 911 systems, which is desperately needed. You know, the first call was made over 50 years ago, and we're still operating on an infrastructure that is very old. So that's very exciting. We're also working with new partners. You know, Google and Apple have worked with us, along with the 911 stakeholders, to figure out how to get really accurate location information to the 911 call centers. You know, you hear over and over again the comment, well, Uber can find me, why can't 911? So we have worked together with them over the last year to provide supplemental location information directly from the device to the 911 call center.
I want to imagine that, you know, I mean, if you look back, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, the majority of the 911 calls were being made from a landline, right? And as I was talking about that experience in Washington during that earthquake, right? You know, everyone was outside the building. Everyone's trying to use their mobile device, right? A lot of people calling 911
right.
For whether it's the priority service or location. All those things really come into play, and being able to modernize those environments to stitch all that together and be accurate, reliable, and dependable. Really critical, right?
And it's both of those things. It's not only upgrading the system, but that enables them to be stitched together. In the old system, there was no way technologically for the 911 call centers to connect to each other, which really created limitations. They all had to be independent operations. Now, with this new infrastructure, they are able to connect to each other, transfer calls to each other, which is really important in terms of resilience. Just one example, during Hurricane Katrina, there were 38 of those call centers that were taken completely out of operation, and those calls went nowhere. If you fast forward to Hurricane Irene, the state of Vermont had that infrastructure in place, and during one of their highest call volumes ever, they closed at least one of their call centers, and no one in the state knew the difference.